Hello everyone, I am Bhavna Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, GemTech Greater Noida. I welcome you all to the lecture series of Management Accounting. Today we are going to start a new topic, that is a budgetary control. Budgetary control is the process of establishment of budgets relating to various activities and comparing the budgeted figures with the actual performance for arriving at the deviations. So it is also defined as the establishment of budgets related to responsibilities of executives to the requirements of a policy and continuous comparison of actual performance with the budgeted results, either to secure by individual action the objective of that policy or to provide a basis for its revision. So budgetary control is a simple technique where the standards are being established, budgets are being set, they are being prepared, and then the actual performance will be compared with the budgeted performance. So there can be deviations, either there can be positive or negative deviations. So based on the deviations, corrective actions may be taken. Now, what are the different steps to install or establish the budgetary control system? We'll discuss this one by one. First is the determination of objectives. The organization first should develop a broad outline about its objectives on long-term basis. Objectives can be broken into present products and lines of activities and propose new products and lines of activities to achieve the higher profits. Second step is organization for budgeting. After the objectives are being determined, next step is to organize the budget. So in this step, we have to set up the definite plan of organization. We have to define the responsibility of each executive. Next step is the preparation of budget manual. Budget manual is a document which set out the responsibilities of persons who are engaged in the routine nature, and form and records are required for the budgetary control. So budget manual basically contains all the details regarding the plans and procedure for its execution. It basically specifies the timetable for budget preparation to approval, details about the responsibility, different cost centers, organization of budget committee, responsibilities of budget officer. So it is a statement which tells us about the objectives, functions, responsibilities, timetable, reports, and forms. Next is responsibility for budgeting. In this step, there are two things: budget committee and budget controller. Budget committee includes the managing director, production manager, sales manager, and accountant. So the main objective of this budget committee is to agree on all departmental budgets, normal standard hours, and the allocation. So basically in small companies, the budget officer may coordinate the work for preparation and implementation of budgets. But on a large scale, a budget committee is set up for preparation of budgets and execution of budgetary control. Now, budget controller is responsible for budget program. So he should have knowledge of the technical side of the business. So budget controller generally reports directly to the VP of the company. Next step is to fix the budget period. Budget period means the period for which budget has to be prepared. So it may depend on the type of budget, whether it is a cash budget, sales budget, production budget. So it can be fixed for, say, a week, a fortnight, a month, or a quarter. So there is no specific period. Now budget period depends upon number of factors, like the type of business, the type of budget to be prepared, what the nature of the product, the length of trade cycle, economic factors, availability of finance, availability of accounting period. Next step is the budget procedure. In this step, there are three things. First, we have to determine the key factor, that means the limiting factor. So it is very necessary to consider the key factor, because this key factor dominates the business operations, which ensures that the functional budgets are reasonably capable of fulfillment. So key factor can be, say, raw material, short of uh, supply of raw material, or non-availability of skilled laborers, or certain government restrictions, shortage of power, lack of capital, lack of funds, insufficient research. So this can be the key factor in preparing the budget. So the company must consider these factors. In this, next step is to make forecast. Different variables like the forecasting of sales has to be done, production forecast has to be done. And then the budget policies has to be communicated by top management to all those who are responsible for preparing the current budget. Now, we have to prepare the budgets. So this is generally a bottom-up process because budget is prepared from the lower level and submitted to the higher level for the approval. So superior then coordinates these budgets with other budgets for which uh, he or she is responsible, and then submit the bigger budget for approval from the superior. Now this superior then coordinate these budgets and will submit for approval from the superior. This process is followed until the master budget is prepared. So the subordinate will submit to his or her superior, and that superior will again submit to his or her superior. So this process goes on. Now next topic is advantages of budgetary control. Budgetary control helps in reducing the cost. It helps in planning, formulating the policies, helps in coordinating the activities of various departments, helps in profit maximization. It helps in utilizing the resources. We can evaluate continuous review of performance of different budget centers. It helps in facilitating the correct actions. So whenever there are inefficiencies and weaknesses, those deviations can be found out and corrective actions can be taken. Now next topic is the limitations of budgetary control. The limitation is that budget is always based on estimates. So if the budget plans are made on the base of inaccurate forecast, then budget program may not be as accurate and effective. So for reason of uncertainty about future and changing circumstance, executives face lot of difficulties in execution of budgets. Next limitation is that effective implementation of budgetary control depends upon willingness and cooperation. So lack of cooperation leads to inefficient performance. Other limitation can be that budget is cumbersome, time-consuming process, and budget targets are generally considered as special tactics, so it may lower the morale of employees. Now next is the classification of budgets. So budgets are classified on the basis of time, functions, and capacity. So first we'll discuss the classification based on time. So there are three kinds of budgets in this: long-term budgets, short-term budgets, and current budgets. Long-term budgets, from the name it is clear that it is prepared for long period, that is generally for 5 to 10 years. So it is generally prepared by the top level management, and these budgets summarize the general plan of operations and prepared for important activities like the composition of its capital expenditure, new product development, and long-term finance. Short-term budgets are prepared for short period of time, that is generally for 1 year, and or sometimes it is prepared for quarterly or half yearly. So scope of budgeting activity may vary considerably among different organizations. Current budgets are for very short period of time, for few weeks or months. So it is established for use over short period of time and related to current condition. Now next is classification based on functions. So first is functional budget. Functional budget relates to the functions of the organization. So number of functional budgets depends upon the size and nature of business. Like there is sales budget, purchase budget, production budget, material budget, cash budget. Next is the master budget. Master budget is the summary budget. So it includes all the functional activities into one unit. So master budget is the summary budget incorporating its functional budgets, which is finally approved, adopted, and employed. Next is classification on the basis of capacity. So it includes two types of budget, that is fixed budget and flexible budget. Fixed budget is designed to remain unchanged irrespective of level of activity actually attained. So fixed budget always remain fixed. Flexible budget is designed to change in accordance with the various level of activity actually attained. So it is also known as variable budget or sliding scale budget because it takes both fixed, variable and semi variables into the account. Now we'll discuss how to prepare different type of budgets. First is the sales budget. It is very important functional budget as the sales estimate is the commencement of budgeting which is made in the quantitative terms. So sales budget is primarily concerned with forecasting of what products will be sold in what quantities at what prices during a particular budget period. So sales budget is prepared by the sales executive, and sales budget depends on number of factors like the past sales has to be analyzed, the key factors related to the sales budget, market conditions, production capacity, the competitor strength and weakness, pricing policy, nature of business, consumer behavior, types of products. So this is the format of preparing the sales budget. First, we can write the divisions. It can be one division, two, three, and or four. That depends on number of divisions of a particular company. Then in the second column, we can write the number of products the company has. Then we will prepare the budget for the current period. So this budget will first we'll write the quantity, that how many goods will be sold during a particular budget period, then the price for the particular product, and value would be calculated as quantity multiplied by the price. Likewise, we can prepare the actual sales for current period. So this is the budgeted uh, budget or sales budget. Now this is the actual sales, the current sales. So here again we'll write the quantity, price and the value. So if there is any budget that has to be considered for future period, then we'll write its quantity, price and the value. So basically the current period and the actual sales difference, budget sales and actual sales difference. Here we can find out the deviations. Now next is production budget. Production budget is prepared on the basis of the sales budget. It also takes into account the stock levels which is desired to be maintained in the company. So estimated output of business firm during a budget period will be forecast in the production budget. So production budget determines the level of activity of the that the business produces and facilitates the planning of production so as to maximize the efficiency. So it is prepared by the production manager. Now this is the format to prepare the production budget, that first we'll write down the particulars, and we can prepare the columns for as many months we are preparing. So if we are preparing say for a quarter, we'll write 3 months. If we are preparing for say half yearly, we will prepare 6 columns per month. So as I have told you that production budget is based on sales budget. So first we'll write the sales in units. Then if there is any inventory, that is closing stock, we'll add it. So we can get that how much total quantity is required. Less if there is any opening stock in the company, that would be deducted. So we'll get the budgeted production, that is the quantity that has to be produced. Now next is material budget. So different levels of material or stock has to be they are based on the planned out. So once the production is budget is prepared, it is necessary to consider the requirement of material to carry out the production activities. So material budget or purchase budget is concerned with purchase and requirement of direct materials to be made during the budget period. So sales department has prepared the budget that say this much amount of, say 1 lakh units to be produced this quarter. So production department has to finalize the budget based on the sales production, that we will produce at least 1 lakh units so that it has to be sold in the market. Now, purchase budget. Material department also has to prepare the budget, that how much stock has to be purchased. So while preparing the material budget, following factors has to be considered by the company, like the estimated sales, estimated production, the requirement of material, if there is expected change in the prices, different stock levels like maximum, minimum level, reorder level, the availability of raw material, availability of funds, company stock policy. So this is the format to prepare the material budget. So here first we'll take the closing stock, that is stock at the end. We'll add the units which is required as per the production budget and then deduct the opening stock. So we'll get the number of units to be purchased by the company. Next is cash budget. Cash budget represents the anticipated receipts and payments of cash during the budget period. So cash budget is also a functional budget. So it is most important of entire functional budget because cash is required for the purpose to meeting its current cash obligations. So if at any time a company fails to meet its obligations, it will be technically insolvent. So this budget is prepared on the basis of detailed cash receipts and cash payments. So cash receipts will include the cash from sales or from credit sales that will be recovered in future, collection from any debtors, bills receivable, interest received, income from the sale of any investment, commission received, dividend received. And cash payments will include the cash purchases, payment to creditors, wages, any expenses, whether it is office, administrative, selling, distribution, dividend to be paid, tax to be paid. Now, there are basically three methods to prepare cash budget. One is receipts and payments method, adjusted profit and loss method, and balance sheet method. So, out of this, the first one, receipts and payment method, is generally adopted by the companies. So this is the format of receipts and payments method. So first we'll take the opening balance of cash for the different months that we have to prepare. We'll prepare the columns. Say I have taken like from January to April, a company has to prepare. So opening balance of January, we'll write here. Then we'll add all the cash receipts that we have I have discussed just now, and we can write the total here. Then we'll deduct all the cash payments like payments to wages, to employees, to any expenses. So we can write the total balance here. So the difference between the cash receipts and cash payments will become the closing balance of January. Now this closing balance will become the opening balance for the next one. Again, we'll write all the cash receipts, cash payments, we'll find out the difference. We'll get the closing balance of February. It will become the opening balance for March. So for month wise, we have to prepare the cash budget. So closing balance can be in positive or negative. So there can be either cash inflow or there can be more of cash outflow. Next method is adjusted profit and loss method. This is prepared on the basis of opening cash and bank balance, projected profit and loss account, and balance of various assets and liabilities. So cash from operations is taken and non-cash items are added back to profit and deducted from the loss as the case may be. And last one is the adjusted balance sheet method. So at the end of each period, projected balance sheet is drawn, setting out various assets and liabilities, except cash and bank balance. So balancing figure would be estimated closing cash balance or bank balance. So closing cash balance will have to be find out first to be put in projected balance sheet. Thank you. That's all for today.